What is up, everybody? It's Cobes here, and today I'm back with a Fortnite video. In today's video, we're gonna do a legendary skin bracket. There are 20 different legendaries inside this game, so this is gonna look a little bit different than the other brackets I've done. But so basically I'm gonna explain it real quick. I put what I think are the worst on the left side, put them up against each other, so they're not going to move on very far regardless, even if they win the first round. And on the right side, I did Dark Vanguard, Dark Voyager, and Omega and Carbide because they're very similar. I could have done that with the Red Knight and Black Knight, but I did that in the next round. So tell me what you think should win. Tell me if you disagree. I really do like making you guys as pissed as possible. I don't think this one's gonna piss too many people off. We'll see though. Drop a like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications, guys. This is gonna be a fun video. I've been waiting to do it, and finally I can because there's 20 legendaries. So we're gonna start on the left side, and then we're gonna move over to the right side and do the first rounds first. They're basically like the worst skins, like I said, on the left, and then on the right, they're not necessarily bad. I actually do like some of them on the right. But Rex versus Cuddle Team Leader. For me, I think Rex is one of the worst skins, worst legendaries in this game. I think if I had to pick, it would be either him or Raptor. I don't know exactly, but one of the two. So Rex, you're not moving on. Cuddle Team Leader is definitely moving on to the next round. There's no doubt in my mind. Now we're gonna go Raptor versus Havoc. And these have very similar designs. For me, I just personally don't like the design too much. I do like Havoc's color scheme and his back bling, which I am going to take into account while doing this. So I think with his back bling and his color scheme, he looks better than the Raptor. So I'm having him move on to the next round. Now we're moving on to the top right. We have Dark Vanguard versus Dark Voyager. This one, it's pretty easy for me. Not every time will the girl win, but I would say a majority, at least 70% of the time, the girl's going to win against her counterpart, who's very similar, the guy skin. So in this case, it's just a simple choice for me. There's more orange, it's more colorful, she's slimmer, it just looks more badass in my opinion. The Dark Vanguard's moving on. So now we're moving on to Omega. I know I've said moving on 1,000 times. Holy shit. Take a shot every time I say that. Even if you're not of age. Well, don't tell anyone. Yeah, don't tell anyone I said that. Oh yeah, we're just gonna move on. Okay, so we have Omega versus Carbide. Which one's going to win? I'm gonna base this off of like these skins with all their armor on. I think that's the fairest way to do this. So for me, I think Carbide looks amazing with all of his armor on. The only problem I really have with it is you can't see the mask when you're using it, and that really sucks. I wish you could see it. You grinded so hard for these, but you can't see the mask. That sucks, but I still think Omega looks better and way more badass than Carbide does. His armor just really fills out his body. If I had to pick between Carbide no armor or Omega no armor, I would definitely pick Carbide, but with all armor, Omega's moving on for sure. Now we're gonna move over to the left side and start from there. So we have Valor versus Cuddle Team Leader. As you guys know, Cuddle Team Leader isn't one of my favorite legendaries, not even close. I wouldn't put her in the top 10. Valor is definitely a great Battle Pass Season 4 skin. I wouldn't say she's the best necessarily. I don't know who I would. Maybe Zoe, maybe Omega, maybe Valor. It really depends on the day. Some days I'm feeling her more, but I would say right now, I think she is definitely better than the Cuddle Team Leader. I really do like her design. I think it's a little bit simple, but the color red and orange really stand out in this game, and you may see a pattern of me picking the red and orange characters throughout this. So she's moving on for sure, Valor. You got it. Now we have Wukong and Raven. These are two really good skins in my opinion. I had trouble kind of figuring out exactly who was going to win this. Since Wukong recently got his back bling, well, it might have been a couple months ago, but still, it's pretty recent. He got the Royal flags, which I would say gave him a couple more points out of 10. He was probably maybe a 5 or a 6 out of 10. Now he's a 7 or 8. But against the Raven, there's really no competition. I think the Raven is easily going to win this one. His back bling's way better. I like his design, and I love how he has a hood on that covers his face, makes his face black. And those eyes, those glowing eyes stand out so much. I really do think this is underrated, and just because a lot of people have it and a lot of noobs use it doesn't mean it's a bad skin design. I still think this is one of the best skin designs. If you guys haven't, I would suggest using Electro Shuffle with the Raven. It's definitely the best on the Raven out of any skin in this game. It's so awesome, trust me. Go try it out if you haven't. Now, we're moving on to the Battle Hound versus Havoc. So Havoc, I would say against the Battle Hound's cape, which isn't technically a back bling, I still do like the cape. I think it's a pretty creative design, and I know I've been saying this a lot recently, but I hope that the Battle Hound back bling, actually, like, the cape is actually a back bling one day. We'll see. I really doubt it, but possibly if they bring it back to the shop, I could see them doing that. But against the Havoc has a really awesome back bling. I really do think that's a positive to that guy. But the Battle Hound, I just like his design a little bit too much. He's moving on to the next round easily. Now we have the Power Chord versus Crackshot. You guys may hate me for this one, but honestly, I think the Power Chord's back bling definitely gives her some points. Maybe like just a little leg up over the Crackshot, but the Crackshot, for me, I think his design is super creative, and it was one that really changed up what we started to see in this game. He was one of the first really odd designs, if not the first. I think looking through all of these, he really was the first weird ass design we got, and I remember seeing him and I was so jealous of anyone who had him. I just couldn't buy him at the time. So I think Crackshot easily moving on. Hopefully we get either him or Battle Hound in the future. Now we're moving on to the right side. We have Leviathan versus the Dark Vanguard. And for me, this was a tough one. This was like maybe one of the toughest throughout this list so far. Wukong and Raven was tough, but I think this is the toughest because I really do love Leviathan and the Dark Vanguard. But they're very different skins. They really are. I think Leviathan, if I had to say the most creative legendary, I would give it to him. But that doesn't mean necessarily he's going to beat out any other design. I think the Dark Vanguard, even to this day, is one of the best legendary skins in this game. Easily top 10. I don't know if I would give her top 5. I may give her top 5. But against Leviathan, it's tough. So I really had to look at the back bling to decide. And honestly, I don't like either of their back bling. I think the fish tank doesn't go well with a lot of skins, and I don't think the Dark Void goes well with a lot of skins either. But all in all, I think the Dark Vanguard wins just by a little margin. Not much, but I do think she wins. So now we're moving on to the Love Ranger versus Triceratops. If you guys didn't know, at first I would say the Triceratops was one of the worst legendaries in this game. I thought her design easily should have made her an epic skin, but she has grown on me, so she does have a chance of pulling this one out. I think the Love Ranger and his love wings, like, that's the only thing really positive about him. For me personally, I don't think his design is all that cool. So if I had to rank his like actual look without his back bling, I'd probably give him maybe a 3 out of 10. For the Triceratops, I'd probably give her a 6 or 7. So the Love Ranger is basically losing this one so far. Do the Love Wings give him that advantage? I would say probably not. The Hatchling back bling is really awesome as well as the Love Wings. I think the Love Wings are better all in all, but I think I have to give Triceratops the win on this one. She's beating out the Love Ranger. I think his skin design is pretty basic. Like, I don't think it stands out like it should. I really wish they did something a little bit different, but I love his Love Wings. I can't deny that. Now we're moving on to the Reaper versus Omega. At first I said the Reaper was better, but I did not see Omega with his full armor. I didn't even know he had full armor. So I think Omega easily takes this one. The Reaper, don't get me wrong, he's a great skin. At this point in time, I don't know if he would have won any of these. I don't know if he maybe against Valor possibly, maybe against Crackshot, but I don't know. I'd have to put them against each other and really think about it, but I'm not going to do that. Omega's moving on. Now we have the Black Knight versus Red Knight. This one's a simple one for me. Usually I like the girl skins more, and in this case I do. I like the color red. I think it makes her stand out a bit more, and not many people have her. So Red Knight, you're moving on easily. Okay guys, wow. So we have Valor versus the Raven. This one was tough again, but not as tough as some of these other ones. I think Valor is a great skin. She's a good battle pass skin. I like her for that. But the Raven, he's just really, tough to beat. He's going to be a tough one to beat for his back bling, for his skin design. All in all, he's just a solid skin. I think if you were to buy a skin, this would definitely be a good choice. I think the Raven has to move on this one. Even though the color red really stands out on the Valor, I think she is a simple skin design, but I really do like her. I like her look, but I'm sorry, Raven's moving on. Now we have the Battlehound versus Crackshot. This one was not very tough for me. I think the Battlehound easily takes this one. If he would have faced the Power Chord, he would have won easily. I think this bottom left portion is a really bad bracket. I think if I put like any of these other skins that made it into the bottom left, or even some that didn't make it, they probably would have won out. But Battlehound is the best out of all in the bottom left. Easily moving on. He's going to face the Raven. Now we have the Dark Vanguard versus Triceratops. And honestly, I've been loving Triceratops, don't get me wrong, but overall, I think the Dark Vanguard just easily wins this one. She has to move on to the next round. Now for the hardest challenge so far, we have Omega versus Red Knight. I think Omega is probably the best season battle pass skin we've ever gotten, ever. I don't know of one that really compares to him. Like Black Knight and Reaper, he destroys those two. But does he beat the Red Knight? I personally think the Red Knight is going to win this one just because her design, it's simple, but it's basically like the Black Knight, which I think personally is a staple of Fortnite, and it's made into a better skin. It's made into a better version. Like the Black Knight at the time was one of the best skins in the game, if not the best, according to most people and according to myself. But they made a better version of the Black Knight, who used to be one of the best skins, if not the best, and they just perfected it. I really think the Red Knight couldn't really have anything better for her. I really like her back bling as well. So now we're going over to the Raven versus Battlehound. So the Battlehound, his weaknesses, no back bling, even though I do like his cape. I think his helmet, like they're very similar, the Battlehound and the Raven. They both have those glowing eyes, which I don't think any other character has. So which one has the better glowing eyes? Which one has the better design overall? I think the Raven with his trench coat gives him a point up. I think his back bling gives him another point up. I think the Raven has to move on to the next round. I really do. So now we're moving on to the Dark Vanguard and the Red Knight. The Dark Vanguard is, oh, this is kind of cool. So the Dark Vanguard is the upgraded version of the Dark Voyager, and the Red Knight is the upgraded version of the Black Knight. So I think that's a pretty cool matchup. I really do. So who's going to win this one? I personally think the Dark Vanguard is an amazing skin. I really do. But I think the astronaut theme has been overplayed a little bit too much. There's way too many skins out there with the astronaut theme. We have the Moonwalker, Mission Specialist, Dark Vanguard, Dark Voyager. There may even be another one I can't think of. I don't think there is. But 4 different skins with like the same theme. Even though Dark Vanguard is the best, the Red Knight, there's just something about her that easily wins this one, and she's moving on to the finals. She is one of my favorite skins. Now we have the Red Knight versus the Raven. Oh man. So I'm gonna give the positives about both of these. So I'm gonna start out with the Raven. The Raven, the glowing red eyes, the trench coat, the all black basic. I know it's not all black, but it's like black and blackish purple. I really do like that color design. His glowing eyes definitely give him some advantage over the Red Knight, but with the Red Knight, you can't really see her eyes. And then the back bling, I personally think the Raven back bling is easily better than the Red Knight's, but I think for the Red Knight, her mask is amazing. I love her mask. That like, it's just so weird how much I'm in love with that mask over her face. I think the color red really makes her stand out. Her red gloves, her really slender figure, I don't know why, but that really looks nice to me. If there's like a thicker guy version, but then they add the slender girl, it really works better in my opinion. I don't know why exactly, but I really think I have to give it to my favorite. At this point, she is my favorite. You guys already know who won. She. The Red Knight is going to win this one. I personally can't take away the Red Knight's crown. She is the best legendary skin in this game, in my opinion. I think there's no one who can really compare. I think the Ravens a good number 2, but would I put him at number 2 if, like, let's just say the Raven wasn't there and some other skins were on the left side? Maybe Omega could have gone further. Maybe Dark Vanguard could have faced off against the Red Knight. Battlehound, don't get me wrong, he was close, but I think Omega could have made it far if I didn't say that. But honestly, I think this is a pretty good list. I'm happy with it. I I think Leviathan could have made it further depending on the day. I don't really know. He probably would have faced against the Red Knight and lost as well. Yeah, all in all, I think the left side was worse than the right side, and the right side had some difficult competition, like the Black Knight, the Red Knight, Omega Reaper, the Love Ranger, Dark Vanguard, and Leviathan. Those all sound pretty fucking good to me. But I'm gonna end this video here. Everyone tell me what you think should have won. Tell me your favorites and what is your least favorite. Like, what wouldn't have even touched this list? The Rex for me, the Raptor, easily knocked out, easily. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.